So, animals are pretty great. They come in all shapes and sizes and can do all kinds of amazing things. I have my favourites, of course, but I do believe every one of them is special in their own right. I can't think of anything greater than being able to accept an animal into your family and strive to give it the best care and quality of life that you can. It's the best feeling ever, but a decision you can't make lightly. Saying that, I have had a lot of pets over the years. 3 cats, 2 gerbils, 2 mice, a hamster, a parrot, a dog, and more recently a lizard. They've been my animal family over the years. The cats were first. There was Max, Dylan, and Barney. They lived in the house before I was born, so I didn't have massive attachments to them because it just felt like they were something that was always there. Max would let me stroke him and would sometimes sit on me, which was very exciting. Barney was very old, so I never got to know his personality outside of being old and wanting to sleep by the fire a lot. And Dylan just kind of put up with me and everyone else, to be honest. He was a very independent cat, but on a few rare occasions I'd get to stroke him, and those were very blessed moments. I don't think he cared much for me though. Next were the 2 gerbils, it was Coco and Daisy. Honestly, I don't really remember much about them. I know they were really nice to have around, but I just don't remember many things that I did with them. It's okay, I'm sure you guys were great, don't worry. The 2 mice were after that, and they were very sweet. Ruby and Rainbow. They'd scamper around in your hands a lot, and they were just fun to be around, though it made them quite difficult to stroke because they'd be all over the place. I do think they make fantastic pets though, and mice get overlooked a lot of the time, so consider giving them some love. Next was my hamster, Honey. She was a real treat. She had oodles of character, and was surprisingly adventurous. She loved exploring the front room on her own, while I was just watching TV or playing some games. You'd hear a small scraping sound, and then you'd see her climbing like the 7-foot curtains that we had. I'd run over and wait for my little fishing net underneath her because I was so scared that she'd fall off the metal railing at the top. But I'd always catch her in my little net and she'd be totally fine. She could also just climb up the back of the sofa and she'd suddenly just appear by your head. She was absolutely lovely though. It was around this time I really started wanting more exotic animals. It was true that I do love all animals, but there's something so fascinating to me about the larger, crazier looking animals. Anything from parrots to lizards, snakes, the list will go on and on. Now, like any child, it became a game of, can I win over my mum so she'll get me this thing? And with the parrot one, I actually managed to do it, but I think my mum was just happy that they didn't eat bugs or mice, which I completely understand. Fizz was the name of my parrot. She was a kakariki, one of the more obscure parrots out there, but she was very special to me. She was bright yellow and had a red band on top of her beak, and some red bands under her wings as well. Although kakarikis are normally green. Birds are definitely my favourite animal, so needless to say, I loved spending time with her. I came down to see her every morning, and would be very excitable, constantly asking her, "What you doing?" And she actually learnt to say "what you doing" very quickly, but it was the only thing she ever learnt. However, as she got older, it was clear that she wanted to spend more time with bird companions over people. At the time, we just didn't have the resources to care for another bird, so we decided to find a bird sanctuary she could stay at. We travelled to so many different places, determined to find the best place we could for her. And eventually, we did find a great one, but saying goodbye to Fizz was just one of the saddest things I've ever had to do. Having to go through this just further inspired me to care for animals and do bucket loads of research beforehand so I could give all of them the best lives possible, and so I just wouldn't have to say goodbye to them again. And then there's Tilly. She's still here today. We've had her since she was a puppy, and she was the size of my fluffy sheep slippers. But as she's grown, she's still quite a floofball. Well, I guess more like a sheep, to be honest. Her name is Tilly, but that doesn't stop me from calling her by any high-pitched cute sound I can think of. For example, her other names are Snoof, Snoofle, Poof, Poofle, and Wheeze. She's very good though. She knows that if I just make any high-pitched sound at her, I'm probably trying to get her attention. Generally, she was quite a lazy dog, and she was scared of a lot when she was little, and that hasn't changed even though she's now 11. But whenever I come home to see her, she still runs around like crazy, doing laps around the dining room table like she's a puppy. She also has a cute habit of waiting by the sofa to see if I'll go on a walk with her in the evenings. I pretend to ignore her when I know it's coming around to the time of going out, because it's quite funny. And she's learnt to do like cute little sneezes to get my attention. It's pretty great. At night, she likes to sleep on the stairs, even though she has a lovely bed in the front room. She either sleeps in the corner of our angled stair or on one of the straight ones. When she slept on the straight ones, I've had to learn not to trip over her in the night because unfortunately she was exactly the length of our stair. Meaning I just had to take an extra big step over her even though I can't see anything at all. She's a fantastic doggo though. It's very fun visiting her at my mum's home. Lastly, there's Spike. He's a bearded dragon, or just a sandy pancake is probably a better term for him. He actually belongs to my boyfriend, but we recently moved in together. I'm very excited to have this little fella with us too. He's 9 though, so not that little, more like an old man. He's quite a derp though, and when he's in the mood, it's really fun to watch him explore the front room. But he is quite useless with heights. I don't think he realises that he doesn't have a little parachute on him when he jumps off of things. He likes to get as close to the edge of the sofa as he can, so he can just look down and investigate. But most of the time, he'll decide he doesn't want to jump, but when he tries to back up, he'll just fall off anyway, because he's a bit slippy. Luckily, I'll normally be there with him, so I've learnt to make a little ramp with my legs so he can just slide down by himself. Recently, we've been trying to encourage him to eat his vegetables, because they should be the main portion of his diet, but he's really not a fan. He definitely prefers to just have a tasty insect instead. Although saying that, he does accept apples and carrots, but he doesn't like it if you try to grate them or cut them down in any way. So sometimes you just have to put a whole apple in front of his face, but I don't think he realises that he can't eat something that big. He's such a lovely boy to have around, and since he's been living with me, I've done everything I can to try and make his vivarium as comfy as possible. I've bought little reptile hammocks for him, and I also made him a tunnel house out of cereal boxes. It has windows and everything, so it is very premium, even though it's a cereal box. He likes laying in his tunnel, and he can poke his head out of the little windows, and it's really cute to watch. So yeah, those have been all my pets over the years. I still have big goals when it comes to pets, but I know how important it is to make sure you have the space, time, and money first. Not to mention the bucket loads of research you need to do for some animals. I know that one day I'll be able to have what I want. Just a big old jungle house, because that sounds like a great idea. Hello, thanks for watching everyone. I found some pictures of my old and current pets on my PC, so I thought I'd share them. You can enjoy those. I also have a new microphone. It's been a bit of a pain to set up, but I'm sure I'll get to use it lots in the future. I definitely want to make more videos, but I just have to find the time for it really. Also, me and my boyfriend have been streaming some Pokemon Nuzlocke over on Twitch. It's been really fun so far. I'm just going to post a link in the description so you can check it out if you want to. But yeah, thanks again. I'll see you all soon, hopefully. Bye.